Good afternoon and welcome back to the African Messenger Studios. And today we're going to be talking about something that's really important, something that it just occurred, it's something that just happened this morning. It was kind of interesting and it pushes to kind of have this conversation about respecting one's heritage and being proud enough to uh, maintain that which you hold dear to be a culture or a cultural norm or like a cultural heritage, something that you inherited either from your parents or something that you came with into your new country, your new society, your new community. As I was writing this morning, I met someone that I thought I knew, but as I started having a conversation with this person, they were not willing or interested in having that conversation in the language that I thought they knew, and I thought a language that I thought they would be willing and comfortable enough to have that conversation in. And so it kind of pushed me to think about this cultural sensitivity or this pride, this the desire to be to assimilate into the new community so bad that in some ways people find themselves losing themselves in the process, especially young people. It is one thing to want to be a part of a new culture, a part of a new society, which is really great. It is another thing to want it so bad that you want to lose yourself in the process. And this is something that I want to kind of have this conversation about. We've all been there to some point in our lives where you move into something different, where either it was a dish that you did not like or it was something else that was interesting to you, but you always felt proud enough to say, as much as I want to be a part of this new culture, as much as I want to be a part of this new society, I also want to maintain myself. Where do I stand as far as my own cultural background is concerned, as far as my own personal heritage is concerned? A lot of young people are trying so hard to assimilate, are trying so hard to get involved into the new society, which is great, which is awesome. But we want to kind of like give an advice and talk to the young people to understand that there's as much pride to assimilate and be a part of your new culture, your new society, as there is to really keep that which you came with. And that's where like the whole pride comes into play. It is self-esteem that would push someone to want to do those two things at the same time. You can live with both cultures without losing yourself, without losing that which you came with or that which your parents came with, and also living with that which you found in your new society. It is not worth losing your own personal cultural norms or something that you came with for the sake of being wanting to be accepted or wanting to be a part of the new culture. And this is something that I had a conversation with this young man about. So I asked him, I was like, I know you can speak that language, and I know as much as you're trying so hard to avoid this, I know that I understand, and I know that you know this and you have that cultural background. What is it that's pushing you to want to really put on the side or trying as hard as you can to forget about your own cultural norms and everything else? And the answer was pretty much, I'm trying to get accepted. I'm trying to be a part of this new society. I'm trying to feel comfortable. I don't want to feel some any kind of shame that comes with saying my accent, or any kind of shame that comes with saying my way of dressing or my way of eating or something like that. So, and with good reasons, because as the say going, so when you're in Rome you do as Romans do. But I don't know about that, to this point in age. It sounds like that was kind of like an ancient model of doing things, because what makes us all great nations as Americans is the fact that we, each one of us, contribute to we come with something that is valuable to the American culture. what makes America great is that it's the world. The whole world is in America, and each one of the part of the world that comes here, anybody who comes from a different part of the world, they bring something that is valuable, and that what values. That's what the values that this society is instilled into us. Is we're proud enough to keep that which you brought with us. Proud enough to be able to say, I can dance to my traditional tunes, to that which I learned from my parents. At the same time, I understand that I'm an American, and I'm proud to be American. But I'm proud enough to be American and a human being to maintain that which I was taught by my parents. And the thing is, it's the same thing as going to school, really. If at home your parents have been teaching you to respect your teachers at school, that is a value that you are going to carry at school because it's a reflection of your parents, and everybody is going to value them based on your character and how you are. So if you're trying so bad to be this other different person that in the process you're losing yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth losing your cultural heritage? Is it worth losing that which you came with? Is it worth losing that which your parents instilled into you because you want to be this somebody else? Or is it worth, it's like, do you ever think that some people are there envy that which you have? People envy that which you are because there are people who want to be like you in some ways, you know. They want to know. I had a friend a couple of years ago who said, I wish I could speak 2 languages or 3 languages. They still have that ability, but the fact that you have that possibility that you can speak 2, 3, 4 languages and you can relate to many different culture, it just doesn't come for granted. It's something that we take for granted, but it is something that is special that we need to value. And so to anybody out there, especially for the young people, you need to understand that what you come with is so valuable, is what's going to help you assimilate and get involved into your new society. You need to value it as much as you value what you're trying to do. What makes you better is not total change. What makes you better is to learn how to live with 2 cultures. What's going to make you succeed is to learn how to accept and embrace that which you came with and be proud enough to present it, at the same time learning the ways to live within the new culture. And that is what's going to raise your self-esteem, because if you are not able to accept that which you came with, you're not able to accept the values that your parents instill into you, you are not able to accept and to embrace your accent, really the accent that you have, then how are you going to be able to embrace anything else in life? Because then you'll be always looking at what's negative about me, and always focusing on the negative does not lead you into anything. You need to be able to focus on the positive, to say, what are my strengths? What is the strength in my accent? What is the strength in my culture? What is it that's going to make me stronger, separate me from everybody else? What is it that's going to make me unique? Because having an accent is something that is unique, and everybody is interested. I'm always kind of like, I find it astonishing and interesting to hear and to see people really interested in my accent. You know, I would speak a word and they'll be like, oh, where are you from? That is really a nice accent. I don't know if they mean it from the bottom of their heart or not, or they're just trying to flatter me. But what I understand is that it's because of my accent that I'm attracting the attention of this person that I wouldn't have otherwise attracted. And this is how we get to meet people in life, and this is how we make connections in life. But imagine if you didn't have that accent, or you didn't have that cultural food to which you're presenting to people, and the people are kind of interested into it. That would be something else. It's like you're embracing your identity. Our identity is very, very important. Is a part of us. Is a part of who we are as a people. And so we need to be proud enough to understand, as much as I am an American, I also have my parents, my cultural background, you know, my cultural norms and the things that I came with. And how can I make those things work for me into this new society, into my new identity? What makes a great identity is not kicking out the old identity. No, what makes a great identity is to live within the two identities. It's like a combination of the two identity. That's what makes somebody great. That's what makes somebody succeed. Because the minute you start embracing yourself, you start embracing that which you came with. You start embracing the character, the norms, the rules, the things that you learn, the little songs, the drum beating, or the storytelling, the things like that. Those things will always come in handy as you try to navigate through society and move into the other you, if you want, the new you, if you will, or like the you who's capable of navigating between two things. And when you think about it really clearly, you're going to see that it helps you in situations as well. Because if you can manage to navigate between two cultures and be successful about that, then you are able to be successful in life in doing other things. Like figuring out how to either be an engineer at the same time of being a businessman. There are two different ideas, two different concepts. But if you have an ability to bring those two concepts together and learn to be successful between those two concepts, it's really, really important. So I'm encouraging you to embrace your identity, to not try to forget or try to shine away or try to put on the side your cultural norms, to not feel ashamed of it. No, it is a part of you. It's something that is important. It's something that is great. And you need to start looking at it in a positive way. It makes you better. It made you who you are up to this point in your life. And it's going to make you successful on the next levels and other things that you're doing. So try your best and embrace yourself, embrace your cultural norm, embrace what you brought with you, because that is what makes you. It is a part of you, and you need to be proud of it. And your self-esteem depends on that as well. You need to embrace who you are. You need to embrace where you come from. You need to embrace the good things, the positive things of your culture, to be able to move into the new culture and be successful in the new culture. Because if you are not embracing the cultural norms that you have, I guarantee you, the minute you move into something different, you are going to try to kick out the new culture you've just learned. But if you keep kicking things out, what is the end of that? The strategy is to learn to be that person who is diverse enough, versatile if you want to, someone who can bring one or two things and bring them together and figure a way to make them one. They're proud enough of who they are, where they come from, but they're also proud enough to be a part of the new culture and to try to combine the two and to be successful. We thank you very much for having tuned in, and once again we thank you for supporting us, and we look forward to continuing this conversation, because it's a big conversation, an interesting one, and a very important one. From the African Messenger Studios, this is Mr. Glory Gazao. I say thank you very much.